Now hold on a second, there's still some Game Gear games left to look at, is probably what some of you are saying, and it's true, I didn't talk about Sonic Spinball in the Game Gear, or the Sonic Drift titles, not even the handheld Mean Beam Machine. I don't even think I covered the console version of this. A pinball game, 2 8-bit racers, and Puyo Puyo. Sonic Jam on Game.com? What is this shit? I wanted to stick to the main platformers in the meantime, and Sonic Labyrinth is borderline, I'm aware of that. But the Sonic Drift games I wanted to save for another video dedicated to Sonic Racing games, so that'll come later. Spinball, Mean Beam Machine, Sonic Jam Game.com, whatever this is. I'll save them for another video. So, what do you guys know about dimps? Yeah, by the late 2000s, in terms of Sonic games, they became the butt of dash pads, bottomless pits, and physics. Dimps became the de facto developer for Sonic's handheld adventures after his Game Gear career, and though you may think of Sonic Rush and Sonic the Hedgehog 4 when they come to mind, their origins go further back. They're also responsible for the Sonic Advance trilogy, and before even then, they technically made their Sonic debut with a relatively obscure handheld title released in 1999, not for the Game Gear, but for the Neo Geo Pocket Color. Executive producer of the game, Takeshi Nishiyama, who worked under SNK at the time, would later go on his own path and become the founder of Dimps in 2000. So if you ask me, I think this counts as Dimps' first ever Sonic game, Sonic Pocket Adventure. And immediately as I turn the game on, it wants me to go to my room. Okay, Mom, calm it down. I thought this game was some sort of Sonic Adventure supplementary material when I first discovered this. That render of Sonic is ripped right out of Adventure, but little did I know that wouldn't be the only thing Sonic Pocket Adventure would borrow. Does any of this look familiar to you? Yeah, looks a hell of a lot like Sonic 2 on the Genesis, doesn't it? Well, that's because Sonic Pocket Adventure is pretty much Sonic 2 on the Genesis with the serial numbers filed off and replaced with new ones. The graphics are bright and dazzling, but instead of Emerald Hill, Chemical Plant, and Aquatic Ruin, we have Neo South Island, Secret Plant, and Aquatic Relics. They didn't even bother renaming Sky Chase though, that shit is still Sky Chase. No one gave a shit about this zone. It doesn't just stop at zone aesthetics either, most of the level design is borrowed from the console game too. I've played Sonic 2 so many times, I got a certain way of playing the game, you know? And when I popped in Pocket Adventure for the first time, I was running, jumping, and hitting all the notes as if I was playing the Genesis game. Sonic controls just fine, the spin dash works as it should. Yeah, looks all accounted for, barring the sudden inclusion of bottomless pits and not Chemical Plant. Oh fuck, they're planting the seeds. There's some differences, some making the levels a little longer, a little easier, or more difficult. This game's not Wing Fortress Zone is much longer here, but offers more pathways to explore as Constellation. Going underwater in Aquatic Relics is not as dangerous as Aquatic Ruin, given the simpler design and abundance of air bubbles. The color scheme of Gigantic Angel reminds me of Scrap Brain Zone, though I'm sure this is just this game. Oh fuck you, I knew it! Kiss my fucking ass, slicers! Taking away all my rings I need for special stages, and God knows I only have enough chances to get those that oh fucking hell! Great to see everything checks out here. But the end of the zones threw me for a spin for as much as this game takes from Sonic 2. The battles with Dr. Robotnik are entirely different, from a giant hammer, balancing platforms, to knocking him around like a pinball. I initially had a hard time with this encounter, the one at the end of Gigantic Angel. I thought you could only hit him as he periodically dipped to a level Sonic could reach him from. He has no reason to do that shit, by the way, but he does it anyway, you fucking moron. But back to the point, getting a clean shot when he dropped wasn't always a guarantee because he could shoot 8-way projectiles at random, and if he was dropping a bomb, the bomb itself could hurt Sonic on the way down. Then out of complete fucking happenstance, I found out you could jump off the explosions the bombs give off when they hit the ground. Now you tell me, how the fuck does that make any sense? Did Sonic swallow a fire shield, naturally inheriting its powers? Of course he fucking didn't. There aren't any elemental shields in this game at all. Though for some reason this game loves Sonic 3's soundtrack. Just about every track is an 8-bit recreation of some of my favorite Sonic tunes of all time. It's good to my ears, but this makes no sense. Sonic's many things. He ain't fucking fireproof. Pocket Adventure is easily beatable in under an hour. It doesn't reuse every zone from Sonic 2, just a handful of them. But they still rock the same number of alternate pathways and power-ups like speed shoes and shields, like you would expect from the Genesis Classic. And for some added replayability, there's puzzle pieces hidden throughout every stage you can collect to build some puzzles in your collection. A minor addition, but something you completionists can sink your teeth in, I guess. If you want to easily double your playtime, go after those Chaos Emeralds, because Dimps is known for a lot of things in Sonic the Hedgehog design. Making the emeralds fucking impossible to obtain is certainly one of the more infamous tropes, and Pocket Adventure is no fucking exception. Pocket Adventure has 2 acts per zone, but you can only get the emerald at the end of Act 1, jumping into this giant ring at the end of the stage like you do in Sonic 1. Getting to the special stage is not the problem. It's this shit. Yep, that goddamn half-pipe is back, and I know this is more of a me problem. I fucking suck at the half-pipe shit. And by the 5th and 6th emerald, it's like pulling teeth with how sensitive this control is. The biggest problem, however, is the limited number of attempts you get at collecting the emeralds. Ironically, it's not like Sonic 2 where you had multiple checkpoints you can cross within a stage to keep trying. There's 6 Chaos Emeralds to collect in Pocket Pocket Adventure via special stages, and you get exactly 6 attempts. Mess up one time and kiss that perfect ending goodbye, reload that save file and try again. The 7th emerald is tied to the plot, where you get it from Knuckles, Robotnik steals it, Knuckles fucking uppercuts you to the sky to help chase the fat man down, and you get it back by beating Robotnik's final contraption the right way. But this game also has a Doomsday Zone of the sort, it's just not as epic. The boss isn't nearly as tense, and the background music is not the adrenaline-filled Doomsday Zone, but the calm and relaxing Sky Sanctuary. Somebody fucked up there. Given the amount of pain you'll suffer to grab the emeralds, all for an exclusive stage that's not as climactic as it could have been, with no way to utilize Supersonic in the regular game, it's a total bummer this is all you get to show for it, and just a spoiler warning, this isn't the only time I'll be saying that shit. So don't feel too bad if you can't get all the emeralds by the end of the game. The normal ending is by no means dour, just like Sonic 2. In fact, I think it's best to look at Sonic Pocket Adventure as Sonic 2 remixed, Sonic 2 Lite, Diet Sonic 2? One of those. You can kind of look at it as a transitional game as well, the moment Sonic stepped away from his classic upbringings into his more modern aesthetics. Just look at Sonic here, he's got his classic proportions, but he's got the green eyes. Not a bad compromise if you ask me, I like this sprite. Dr. Robotnik begins the game with his classic look, but by the end of it, he's made his change to his iconic adventure design. We're seeing the transformation unfold under our very eyes. Sonic Pocket Adventure, at the time, can be seen as one final hurrah to Sonic's classic days, because after this, it's strictly long spines, green eyes, and noodle limbs. I doubt it's easy to come by a Neo Geo Pocket Color nowadays. I used an emulator for this video, but bought myself a physical version of Sonic Pocket Adventure so I wouldn't feel too bad, though Sega ain't seeing any profit from this shit anymore. As a consequence, I couldn't show off the competitive multiplayer. I think it's set up like Sonic 2's multiplayer, so we're not missing much, I think. It's also the only way you can play as Tails. Without that, it's strictly the Sonic show. At the end of the day, Sonic Pocket Adventure, for as much as it borrows from Sonic 2, is still a solid title on its own accord. Good control, colorful graphics, nice sound, interesting boss fights. For the definitive Sonic 2 experience, I'd recommend Sonic 2. But Pocket Adventure isn't bad at all. It will ultimately lay the foundation for some of Sonic's most well-known handheld adventures coming up. And next time, I'll be looking at those games all at once. It's finally time for the Sonic Advance Trilogy video. And before you ask, Sonic Battle will come at a later date. With that said, if you're heading by MagFest this coming weekend, stop on by and maybe, just maybe, you might be a part of that Sonic Advance Trilogy video. More details to come, if you happen to be there. With all that said once more, thank you all for watching, have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care.